Okay, we're on to day number 2. Yeah, day number 2, and day number 1 was good. Yeah, remember that God's description of prosperity is that it says when God saw the light, it says that is prosperity. When God saw the light, meaning that when the process was complete of day number 1, God says that's prosperity. So prosperity is the maturing of the bride. Every stage there's a maturing of the bride. God says prosperity, prosperity, prosperity. The bride is there. The bride is getting ready. Prosperity. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Prosperity. The prosperity gospel. Oh. Don't put me there. Don't do that to me. So let's go to day number 2. Remember with Revelation, sometimes when you read the scriptures, you don't see it. But when you go into detail, you'll begin to find the revelation. So let's go into day number 2. It's Genesis 1:6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. The introduction of the firmament as the heaven. Oh, Revelation, please, Lord. It doesn't get easier as it goes along. Yeah? It doesn't get easier as it goes along. So let's go in detail. He says God made. So this is the first time. The word made is being used. God made. What is the word made? Yeah? What is the word made? It is the word yielded. Yielded, yeah? Another way of saying made, to make it practical, is the word yielded. So it's like God yielded the firmament and divided. He divided. He divided the waters. So practically we know physically that the waters are being divided. But remember that wherever you see something physical happening, there's some invisible sort of revelation. Yeah. So the dividing of waters, there is a revelation. Remember that the Spirit of God hovered upon, the face of the deep, and there was darkness upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So the waters below are covered in darkness. So what God does, He divides it. So He takes waters, He puts waters above, and He leaves the waters beneath. And He puts something called a firmament, to uphold the waters that are above. And that firmament, He calls it the heavens. So you've got the waters that are above the heavens, and you've got the waters that are below the heavens, or the waters that are above the earth. Waters above the earth and waters above the heaven. Waters above the earth and waters above the earth. Where's the darkness? Where's the darkness? Very, very interesting. Yeah? Where is the darkness? So you got the waters that remained here on the earth, and you got the waters that are above the firmament. So this division, the word divide, is also the word distinguish, to distinguish, to separate, to distinguish, to separate, to distinguish, to separate. So the waters above, they must be divided from the waters beneath. Remember, we spoke about the lava. Yeah, the lava, that is a vessel of the tabernacle. Yeah. So the vessel of the tabernacle that is used for the priest to wash their hands is the laver. It has water in it and the priest use it. And now we're seeing waters here. Are you with me? So now there must be a dividing, a distinguishing of the earth, what is of the earth and what is of the heaven. So let's look at something that Paul says. Yeah, he says the first man is of the earth, the second man is the Lord from heaven. As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy, and as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. So there is an earthly thought pattern, an earthly thought pattern, and there is a heavenly thought pattern. We have borne the image of the earthy. Now we must also bear the image of the heavenly, So in life, there is two thought processes, yeah? One that is from heaven and one that is from earth. There are two different thought processes. The one that is from heaven is about the bride and the bridegroom. Everything is about the bride and the bridegroom. And the thoughts that are here on earth is about what? It's about self. It's about self. You can go into the detail about the luxuries, cars, houses, this, that, businesses, all of that, it only relates to self. It's self. It's a self-structured, self-made empire. Self. Everybody was down the road. Everybody was going down because we knew no better. We bore that image. We knew no better. We all went But we were going down the road and we knew there was no benefit in it. But we still continued because we didn't know better. What you going to do if you don't know better? You go down the same road. There's no other road. Go down the same road. There's only one road. You take that road. Sometimes you fall. Sometimes you don't fall. You go down that road. We all going down that road. The earth road. We all going down. Earth road. We all going down. Earth road has taken so many people. It's taken so many lives. We know that when we die with nothing. We know that whatever we make here and add money, luxuries, we can't take it. But we got no choice. It's the only thing we know. So we go down that road. We become professionals on that road. We have the image of the earthy. That is us. We don't know any better. You understand? We don't know any better. When we die, we don't even know what's going to happen to our lives. We don't know which way we're going. Some of us even conclude like, hey, there's nothing. But everybody, even when they're about to die, when everybody believes like, hey, I need help. When they're about to die, life changes. Life changes because when the flesh is about to die, spiritual sight switches on. And you begin to see things because the flesh is dying. When the flesh dies, that's when you see things. So it doesn't matter what your belief is. At that time, when a person is about to die, they can see the beings that are around them. When you minister to people that are about to die, you see that. It doesn't matter how they live their life, they're afraid. Why are they afraid? Some of them are put in madhouses. They say these people are seeing things. They're not seeing things as you think they're seeing things. It's the flesh has been put off. So now the spiritual realm is about to be made real. You see, when you die, when your body goes, everything is real in the spiritual realm. It's there for you. You can't hide it. But when the body is living, it's hard to see those things. Are you following me? So now, day 2 is a division, is a divide. Thought patterns, your thought life, what you think, what's in your mind, what's in your mind, what's in your mind. Whatever is in our minds, it comes from somewhere. Someone has put it there. Sin nature, put it there. Associating with people, they put it there. But the day comes now when the heavenly approaches you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you lived like 40, 30 years of your life a certain way and the heavenly comes? Are you going to leave it all? You're going to leave it all, or you're going to keep it all? You can't have both. You can't have both, yeah? So your thoughts, your mind, yeah? Which way does your mind choose? Which way do you choose? This is the distinguishing. Those that are part of the bride, yeah? Those that want to be a part of the bride, and those that just don't want to be a part of the bride. They are distinguishable. Jesus speaks about the wise virgins and the ones that are not wise. So those all have the same word. So they're in a certain category. Then there are those that are just outside. They've heard, but they don't even want to be a part of the virgins. You understand? They don't even want to be a part of them. They don't even want to be a part of them. So day number one was your heart. You see, the heart can be fully reconciled to God. But the mind, yeah, if the mind is not transformed, then there's not much. There's no further progress with the bride. It is like, how do we put it? It is like the bride, yeah, just having garments up until here done. So yeah, she's wearing a bridal outfit only up, yeah. And then the face up and the hair and everything else, there's nothing that's done. How will do you think you as a husband, you'll be happy with that type of bride? She comes, the face is in a mess. She never wash her face. Yeah, she never do her hair. There's no decorations. There's no nothing. You'll be happy with such a woman. Have you seen a woman that the hairs is spread, they wake up, the hairs all over? Even a woman knows that she can't, a natural woman knows, yeah, I can't go out like this. I gotta sort myself out. I gotta make myself a little bit decent. Are you with me? How much more the bride? Yeah? So having the garment on does not mean that you are complete. Yeah? It's now your mind is more or less talking about, yeah? Your mind. And your mind itself also, it needs some type of transformation. The Bible calls it a renewing process that takes place. The best way for you to look at that is look at the process that's involved when the caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Yeah, that is the best process. That speaks about how your mind is transformed. Yeah, how your mind's transformed. And I won't go through that process. You look at a quick video and you'll see. And the stages, they all represent something. There's one beautiful stage that happens here is when the cocoon is being formed, when they go into that. And there's a time of stillness and waiting. And that creature, it stays there, it stays still for a long period of time. A very, very long period of time. And it doesn't come out prematurely, yeah? If it does come out prematurely, there's no butterfly. The butterfly will die, yeah? But if it waits and it rests and it sees out the full process, then that creature that comes out is arrayed with beautiful beauty. It's got the most beautiful colors, the most beautiful look. It's just elegant. It's got a butterfly. It's got everything to it. But when it started out, that creeping thing that you saw on the leaves, there's nothing beautiful about it. And that's our minds. That's how our mind starts. But it doesn't end like that. The intention is that our minds must end and become like the butterfly. So the process then of the mind is that it must divide itself. You understand? Divide itself. In the Bible, as the heart was used for the first stage, in the Bible there's a word called reins. Reins. It speaks of the kidneys, and that is your mind. Yeah, your mind. So the kidneys itself is an organ that gets rid of waste. It gets rid of waste. If the kidneys don't rid itself of waste, yeah, and there's kidney failure, then it affects the entire body. Are you following me? Which could result in death. So it affects the entire body. So the kidneys must always throw the waste out. And that's the same with your mind. Because it's not a once-off process. Today, a person can be good with their mind. But tomorrow, when some dirt comes in, it must be urinated out. So it's a daily process. Every day this must happen. Because every day something will come to your mind. So the beautiful part about your mind, yeah, the beautiful part about your mind, and to see more on the mind, we look at the life of Noah, yeah, we look at the life of Noah. But the mind is able to construct certain things, it's able to build certain things, it's able to protect certain things. You see, you've got the heart and you've got the mind. It's the mind, it's the kidneys that protects the heart, yeah. It protects it. Continuously letting out waste, it protects it. And when we look at the examples in the Bible, in the life of Noah, let's look at Noah's life, yeah? And then we'll see certain things. Because the thing that stands out with Noah is something called Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark. And Noah's Ark was something that protected Noah's entire family and his children, and protected all of them during the time of the flood. So when the heavy rains came and it fell upon the ark, that everybody that was within the ark were not affected by the floods and the rain that came. So that tells you something about the mind, is that when the mind is matured, when the mind is perfected, it is able to protect the integrity of the heart and the word of God that is in the heart, because the word can be stolen. So the mind now is able to protect that, is able to protect what's happening in the heart and what's happening with the Spirit and what's happening with the Holy Ghost. It's the mind of the believer that does that, yeah? And it's the mind that provides the platform or for everything else that is to take place in the life of the bride and the development of the bride, yeah, and the maturity of the bride. So let's look at Noah's life. Yeah, let's look at Noah's life. So in Noah's life, let's read from 6 verse 9. Yeah, 6 verse 9. These are generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Now, can you see what we are talking about? The division. Can you see the division? There were 2 classes. One earthly, one heavenly. One earthly, one heavenly. One of the earth, one of the heaven. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Room shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion, thou shalt make it. Sounds similar to something, eh? Sounds similar to what God said to Moses about the tabernacle. Exact instructions. And Moses did it and Noah did it. So there's some kind of similarity with the tabernacle of Moses and with the ark. So if Noah is making the ark, it's his mind being perfected to make the ark, yeah? And with with Moses and the tabernacle, there's something called the tabernacle of congregation. And in the tabernacle of congregation, there's the candlesticks, there's the table of showbread, there's the altar of incense, and there's the ark of the covenant, and there's the veil that separates the altar of incense and the ark, yeah? And so the ark is some type of a representation, yeah, of that tabernacle of congregation. That tabernacle of congregation, the word congregation there is the word time, season. So it's a little bit revelated there, yeah? Which we won't get into too much of that now because we're not on day number 3. So that we'll deal with on day number 3, 4, day 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, that's where we'll deal with the tabernacle of congregation and those vessels that were made in there. But for now, you see, the ark that the ark that Noah is making, yeah, he's making the ark, and the ark is the thing that will protect them. That's why in the life of a believer, the bride of Christ, it's the mind. Yeah, if the mind of the believer is never matured, that's when the rains will penetrate and get to the heart, will filter through and get to the heart, to get the word out of the heart. The way you go astray is the word is taken from your heart. So then your mind has to be developed. So in day number 2, yeah, it is the development and the maturing of the mind. This is done by the spirit of knowledge. It is done by the spirit of knowledge. So the spirit of knowledge is now at work in the life of the believer. So when the breath of God comes in, it has the fragrance of the spirit of knowledge. So it's the spirit of knowledge that is coming in. Previously it was the fear of the Lord coming in. So now it's the spirit of knowledge that's coming. It's the spirit of knowledge. So it's the spirit of knowledge, yeah, that is working in the life of Noah. The spirit of knowledge working in the life of Noah, working with his mind primarily, with the result of bearing the fruit of humility, being a humble man, a meek man. Moses was the meekest man on earth, yeah? So Noah, yeah, is coming into maturity of humility. Now imagine the life of Noah. It is Noah and his wife, his 3 sons, yeah, and their wives, against how many others? So I'm not saying that his forefathers were not there with him, they were not together, because yes, of course, some of them were there. But once they all died, it was just Noah and his wife and his 3 sons. So his responsibility, imagine one man, Noah's responsibility, yeah, was to, with regard to the bride of Christ, the holistic picture, his responsibility was to bring in from the heavens, you understand, the fullness of the spirit of knowledge, Therefore, again, there would be a 7-fold process. But instead of the fear of the Lord, the foundation. No. Then the spirit of knowledge is the foundation first. So knowledge comes first. Then, so humility comes first in the mind. Then upon humility, it would then be temperance, mastery of words. Upon that, then it would be faith. You understand? Upon that, then so it grows accordingly, will be gentleness, will be goodness, will be, are you following me? Will be patience in the mind. Then it will be joy, it will be love. It will be, that is the peace, love, peace, joy, and love. So now that is the process that the mind must go through in order for it to be mature or be perfected. And Noah in his generation, he had that responsibility. And the fact that he completed the building of the ark, you see, and they were at rest for a period of time So Noah entered into a time of rest. Rest represents the Spirit of the Lord. It then means automatically that if he entered into rest, then everything else that is under the Spirit of the Lord, like the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, counsel and might, knowledge and the fear of the Lord, it means then that he had walked in it. He had walked, remember Noah walked with God, so he had walked in it. He had achieved that because he came into rest. Now there's a similar process, the practical that you would have to do, that I would have to do is, now we would find for the mind. There's the word reigns. And again, we have all this material. We have all these resources that's available. So you would now go and you would check out all the scriptures with regard to what? With regard to the mind. Everywhere where there is the reins, try my reins, search my reins. Everywhere where the reins is, you would do the same process. So you would do the same process, the exact same process. Remember, once we've established the system, we just keep on replicating. When we come to the others, it's the same story. So to get it in the mind. Now we must get the mind scriptures in the mind. Mind scriptures must have the mind. Meditation of the heart and then meditation of the mind. So you get it into the mind. It must come into the mind. Meditation in the heart. You say, what's the difference? When you meditate in your heart, the best way to meditate in your heart that I've learned is I play the audio Bible, King James Version audio Bible. And I just play it continuously. I don't think about it. I just play it. I hear it because the heart works with hearing. You just throw it in like that. The heart works with hearing, so you throw it in like that. Yes, they added on, you got to speak as well, but primarily it's hearing. Now, when it comes to the mind, the mind is more contemplative. There's a lot more contemplation, which means that there's a lot more thinking in the mind. Thinking of the scriptures over and over and over and over. So Noah then would be a person like that, thinking in the mind over and over and over and over and over and over. Whatever God says, he walks with God over and over and over and over in the mind. So your second process is the exact same process. People will be like, where are you? Where's your mind? And your mind is only thinking about the scriptures. Your mind is thinking. It's not the whole process. It's part of the process. Remember, you've got to get scriptures of the mind for the 7 different spirits. Eventually, your mind will have love in it. Can you imagine? Your mind having love in it. Wow, a filthy, a dirty, a dark mind. But now there's a separation. There's a distinguishing. And remember, this distinguishing is not for people. It's for God. So God can see, hey, the bride, 1 out of 7. Oh, beautiful. 2 out of 7. We on a roll. Now it's 2,000 years. Noah lived 950 years. Now we've got a process that Noah has dealt with. We're talking about, in lack of better words, legally. We are 2,000 years in the clear. The bride has got 4,000 more years to go. We are getting there. And that's the process of the mind. Remember, how you know that the mind is complete, the ark. The rains come upon the mind. Things come to the mind. Go and do this, go and do this wrong. It just hits off like water. Poof, poof. It doesn't get in. Before it got in and you wanted to do. Now it hits. You feel it and it just falls down. It hits. No. Do this wrong. No. Do this wrong. No. Do this wrong. Do this wrong. I won't give you the details. Do this wrong. Do this wrong. Do this wrong. It doesn't do the wrong. It feels the wrong. The mind feels it, but it doesn't do it. The mind feels it, but it doesn't do it. It feels it. Why? Because the ark is being erected. So no matter what rains fall, the mind is sound. and the mind is stable. Genesis 6:22, thus did Noah, according to all that God had commanded him, so did he. According to all that God commanded him, so did he. 7:1, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all the house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. And this was instruction there. Genesis 8:20. Let's see Noah. It says, and Noah builded an altar unto the Lord. So this is after the flood. Look at Noah, and all the spirit of knowledge. Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean. This is the man in his maturity, and every clean beast fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelt a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore. I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite anymore everything living as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest time, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. Noah really pleased God. Noah really pleased God. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require at the hand of every beast, will I require it. At the hand of every man, of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso shed a man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. And you, be you fruitful, multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, multiply therein. God spake unto Noah and to his sons. So all Noah's sons were blessed, all of them, with him saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant. I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and every living creature that is within you, of the fowl of the cattle and every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I'll remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. Praise God for Noah. My gosh, Noah. Bless the Lord for Noah. Bless his holy name for Noah. You see that? So Noah then, Noah's life then. Noah's life is a representation, of the spirit of knowledge merging with the bride of Christ, producing what is called humility, evidenced by the tabernacle of Moses, evidenced by the Ark of the Covenant in Revelation. You understand? So now the bride, you understand? The bride is two out of 6. Remember, there is a 7, but the bride is not on earth in the 7. The bride is taken. You understand? So that's why I'm saying 6. So this man Noah, listen, we know how Noah erred afterwards. We know that. It's a lesson on its own, that mankind a lot of the time, once they have accomplished something, somehow, you understand that they begin to be at ease afterwards. So we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that part, yeah? We're not talking about that part. But we see in the early years, that in the 120 years, the things that Noah accomplished, he walked with God. He walked with God. 120 years, imagine, walking with God. 120 years walking with God. Praise the Lord. So that is now the next 1,000 years that has been structured, you see. And I wonder, you see, I don't want to, it's not time yet to focus on the darkness. We don't want to speak about the darkness. We'll get to the darkness. But now we just want to present, the revelation of the bride, yeah? We're going to present the revelation of the bride. And we can speak about other things as the Lord leads, but for now, I do believe that will suffice. Noah, Noah had so many years left to him, and Noah became a library, you understand, to his sons and his sons' children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren. The man became a library. The man became a resource via the spirit of knowledge. Yeah? He became a resource for his generation. So praise the Lord for that. Yeah, we need to go on to day number 3. So day number 3 is the life of Abraham. Yeah, it's from the life of Abraham. I think we're good for today. We'll deal with the life of Abraham afterwards. Yeah, but for now, I think we're good because Abraham is day number 3, and day number 3 speaks about faith. Faith, might, the spirit of might. Faith is the fruit, the spirit of might, the merging of the spirit of might, and faith is the fruit. Yeah, that's day number 3, and we look in detail at the life of Abraham. So the life of Abraham is very beautiful, and we'll continue. Let's record it and let's flow with the Spirit of God and see what we can do. Let's look at the life of Abraham. Yeah, Abraham, Father Abraham. Day number 3. Am I rushing? 17:05. It's prayer time just now. No, I think I'm rushing. Let's leave it.